Tonight, two murder investigations from the case files of Lieutenant Joe Kenda. First, a mother of two is shot dead in the unlikeliest of neighborhoods.
This is the most expensive part of the city of Colorado Springs.
And the evidence points Kenda to a mind twisted with rage.
There is a history of people who progress from hurting animals to hurting perfect strangers.
Then, Kenda works the case of a mangled victim of an apparent hit and run.
He has been dragged under a vehicle for about 30 to 35 feet.
What seems like an open and shut investigation is anything but.
And I said, you know, you tell the worst story I've ever heard. And I have heard a lot of stories. When you look at a victim of a violent crime, and you look at the wounds, the cuts, the bruising, the whatever, they speak their own language. If you've seen enough of it, and I certainly have, they will talk to you. There's one thing that never changes: murder. A life has been taken. Their stories are now my stories. I'm Lieutenant Joe Kenda. I've solved nearly 400 homicides. Somebody has to take control. Somebody has to look out for the victim. I never know where a case is going to lead, but I'll never stop until it's solved.
It's a quiet evening in the posh neighborhood of Broadmoor Bluffs, nestled high in the hills above Colorado Springs.
It was a new development. It's a high-end neighborhood, pretty houses, and it's got an incredible view of the city.
But in this community where everything seems perfect, trouble is about to boil over. No! 15-year-old Nikki Johnson is running for her life.
Somebody help! Nikki runs, streaking to the neighbors and pounding the door. Call 911. He's trying to kill my mom. He's trying to kill my mom.
Just calm down. Just calm down.
At approximately 6 p.m., responding officers arrive at Nikki Johnson's residence.
The initial officer located the victim in the living room with visible injuries to the forehead, the face, and the thigh. They cleared the house and determined that nobody else was in the house.
EMTs are called in. They attempt to save the victim.
I'm not getting anything.
I'm not either.
But it's too late.
We're gonna call it at 1807. Thanks, guys.
Lieutenant Joe Kenda is stopping for a bite on the way back from court.
How you doing? I'll have whatever the number one is.
If I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't. It just doesn't mean anything to me. Whatever it is, order me a number one. There's always a number one.
Thank you.
So whatever shows up is what I would eat.
241. Go for Kenda.
I have a number one with a regular drink. That'll be $3.59.
Go ahead, keep it.
Thanks so much.
What was that address?
When they said the address, I knew it was Broadmoor Bluffs. I can count the times on one hand I have been in the Broadmoor area on violent crime.
10-4, I'll be right there.
This is the most expensive part of the city of Colorado Springs. It's unusual to have a violent crime in this kind of a neighborhood.
When Kenda arrives, Concerned neighbors are already crowding the police barricade.
Because of the area in which it is, everybody is wound up like a $2 watch to see what's happening.
So what we got?
We responded to a possible home invasion. When we arrived, the suspect was gone and the victim was deceased. It's the homeowner, Sandra Lee Johnson.
41-year-old Sandra Johnson leaves behind 2 daughters, 23-year-old Kim and 15-year-old Nikki, the girl who initially reported the attack.
She was a successful businesswoman. She had an interior design business that kind of specialized in kitchens.
Who called it in?
The victim's daughter, Nikki,
Where's she at?
she's behind you.
She's being comforted by the neighbor. She's really, really upset.
Kenda needs to find out if Nikki can ID the man who attacked her mother, but her emotional state poses a problem.
There is a necessity at times to pressure people who are emotional. But I'm not a monster, and I'm not going to force a 15-year-old daughter that just lost her mother to talk to me when I can speak to her later and I have other things I can do.
All right, thank you. Let's go take a look at the body.
The victim was found in the living room on the carpet. There was blood pooled around her body. There was blood that was streaking across her face.
A .22 caliber revolver lies nearby, most likely the murder weapon.
There is a coffee table with 2 broken legs and jelly beans are scattered all over the floor. I believe this happened very quickly. Our man comes in, he confronts her. She tells the daughter to run for help.
A struggle occurred, and that the victim was trying to either get away from the suspect or defend herself from the suspect.
And Sandra is immediately shot.
I think the suspect may have kept his distance, and during this struggle, the victim may have landed on the coffee table in the living room.
Just 3 bullet wounds?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, we haven't moved her yet, though.
I can see 2 gunshot wounds in her face, one in the forehead and one just below one eye. I see a 3rd wound in her right thigh. The first shot that's fired is almost always low. Then the gun comes up level and the shooter takes aim and puts 2 in her face 3 inches apart.
The victim's wounds tell Kenda he's dealing with no ordinary killer.
Whoever I'm looking for is familiar with guns. And if he's familiar enough to put 2 rounds 3 inches apart from distance, he's an excellent shot.
Go ahead.
So you count the bullets. This is a 6-round capacity weapon. We have 3 in our victim, but we have 4 expended casings. Now we have the question of the missing bullet. Where did number 4 go?
All right, there's gotta be another slug around here somewhere. Let's spread out and find it.
We find nothing. We don't find number 4.
The missing bullet remains a mystery. Kenda's thoughts turn to motive.
Let's grab a couple officers, search the rest of the house, see if there's any signs of burglary.
Okay. The Broadmoor Bluffs neighborhood's a very nice neighborhood. Burglars and thieves don't go to the poor neighborhoods to steal.
Kenda's men search the house for signs of a break-in, but come up empty.
Nothing is disturbed. Her purse is parked on the kitchen counter. No ransacking. There is no robbery here. This is very personal. Whoever did this only wanted one thing. They wanted Sandra Johnson dead.
Detectives need to figure out if Sandra had any skeletons in her closet, and Kenda knows just the place to look.
People who live alone, particularly women, keep a lot of personal items in their bedrooms. It's an excellent place to go to see if there are love letters. Are there things that might show us something about what she's been up to lately?
Hey, Lieutenant. Found a couple guns.
We find in the nightstand directly next to the bed 2 handguns. Both are fully loaded.
Handguns are very common in Colorado. This is the West, and most homeowners have handguns.
Go ahead and check that one. It hasn't been fired.
This one either.
It's not the presence of weapons that interests Kenda. Rather, it's the number of them.
Over my career, I've had many people threaten to kill me, my wife, my kids, my dog. I kept guns all over my house in the event that I needed one. I never kept more than one next to the bed. The safeties are off, rounds are chambered. These things are ready to use. That struck me as odd. Who is she afraid of? Because she's afraid of somebody.
It isn't long before Kenda finds a possible answer to that question.
Bingo.
An answering machine can be a treasure trove of secrets.
You little bitch.
Then we hear a man's voice, really threatening, and says, "You little bitch. You're not going to do this to me." This equals 2 guns in a drawer in the master bedroom. Whoever that is why those guns are there.
Damn it, Sandra, answer the phone.
Ooh, now who might you be? I'm investigating the shooting of Sandra Johnson, and it's apparent to me that there's somebody in her life that she was terrified of. We find 2 loaded handguns and messages on a phone filled with hate and poison.
It seems the caller wasn't content to leave just one threatening message.
She had a lot of them, and they went on a long, long time, and they alternated between being very threatening, clearly drunk, and then others were, making romantic plans.
But honey, I love you. Maybe we could get back together. And it's this bizarre bounce back and forth. I hate you, I'm gonna kill you. I love you, I want to be with you. What does that tell you about the personality of this individual? He is volatile.
I think we get the picture.
So what do you think? Stalker? Ex?
Well, it's definitely an ex of some sort. Let's concentrate on the paperwork. Letters, anything with men's names on them. This guy's got to be in here somewhere.
Hey, Lieutenant. Looks like we got some paperwork.
Kenda discovers that his victim is newly single.
Our divorce was finalized 3 months ago.
Sandra's ex-husband is a man named Dale Johnson. Could the menacing voice on Sandra's answering machine be his?
We certainly know from listening to that tape that the caller's emotions are all over the map. I hate you, I love you. I want to kill you, I want to sleep with you. That certainly speaks to the kinds of all over the map emotions you commonly see in a divorce proceeding. Divorce is the most dramatic thing that can happen in your life, sort of a death of a loved one. It produces enormous feelings and emotions and hatreds and memories and revenge motives. All sorts of things happen. They can be financial, they can be emotional, they can be a combination of both and often are.
After a divorce, it's not unheard of that the wife suddenly has a terrible accident or is suddenly burglarized and killed.
The divorce decree suggests the motive could be financial.
He has to pay her $2,000 a month in maintenance. Now that, in my head, is 2,000 reasons to kill her.
Did Dale Johnson murder his ex-wife to avoid paying alimony? While Kenda's men continue their search for the missing 4th bullet,
Keep looking around, see if you find anything else.
Kenda sets out to learn more about Sandra and Dale's relationship.
We immediately start contacting neighbors to see what they know about Sandra.
It isn't long before detectives find Janet Stone, a friend of Sandra's who lives nearby.
Sandra was super sweet. I just don't really see why anyone would do anything like this to her.
Sandra Johnson was described by people that knew her as being hardworking, easy to get along with, trustworthy, and a good person to have as a friend.
She's known her a very long time, knows all about the divorce. We say, was this ugly? Did they argue? Did they threaten each other? Was it that sort of thing?
It was pretty easy as divorce goes.
No fighting?
They were really mature about it. They didn't really have any problems at all.
There's just no possibility in her mind that Dale could be responsible for this. She said he's just not that kind of person.
With Dale Johnson sounding less and less like a suspect, Kenda wonders if the man on the answering machine is a different, more recent suitor.
Was Sandra seeing anyone else since the separation?
Oh, yeah. She had this really crazy boyfriend. I mean, he was really creepy.
Crazy boyfriend, did you say? Oh, I like crazy boyfriends.
According to Janet, after Sandra and Dale split, she met 41-year-old Robert Ambos, who runs a small landscaping business.
He, too, is divorced. She also says he has an extensive collection of guns. Initially, everything's fine. They get along well, they date, things are moving along pretty well. When they were alone, Bob and Sandra, Bob was happy.
Oh my gosh, hi! Oh my God! Oh, great, how are you doing? Bob, this is Kim. Hi, Bob. So long.
He was jealous of her spending time with anyone else. He wanted exclusive control of her attention and her time.
How long's it been?
It's
Years.
been forever.
Oh my
It's been
gosh.
forever.
How's your daughter?
It's amazing so much.
They'd been seeing each other, like, off and on. She had wanted to break up with him several times, but every time she wanted to, he threatened to hurt her.
There was an attraction there. I don't completely understand it, but she had feelings for him, even though she knew they didn't get along and that there was problems with their relationship.
She just finally broke it off a couple weeks ago. She couldn't take it anymore.
And she had told you about these threats?
Yeah, he had been calling her a lot and leaving nasty messages and just really driving her crazy.
We're looking for an individual who is emotional, who makes threats, who's a very qualified user of a weapon, and Bob is all of those things.
Back at the crime scene, detectives find no trace of the missing fourth bullet. Kenda focuses his attention on his new suspect.
75 Charlie to records. I'll get a warrant background check on Bob Ambos.
We find a cruelty to animals complaint. That's interesting. Let's find out about that.
Come on in, fellas. You guys want a beer?
Yes, but no thanks. Now, why we're here is we're trying to get a little background information on a neighbor of yours, Bob Ambos.
How can I help you get Bob out of this neighborhood?
And why would you say that?
He was a creep. He was kind of notorious in his neighborhood as being a bit of a nut job.
The neighbor tells Kenda about a complaint he recently filed against Bob.
Bob has a fish pond in his backyard containing goldfish. There's a hailstorm and it kills the fish, but Bob doesn't believe that. He believes the neighbor's cat has killed these fish.
The neighbor claims a few days later, his cat went missing.
The neighbor is out searching the neighborhood for his cat. He sees a blood trail going into the garage door of Bob's house. So he goes over to that door and he lifts the door up. Obviously, Bob has shot the animal on his property and dragged it inside. What a pleasant man.
Cruelty to animals sometimes can be an indicator that a person might be a sociopath, capable of murdering somebody.
There is a history of people who progress from hurting animals to hurting family, to hurting perfect strangers.
To Kenda, Bob Ambos certainly sounds capable of murder, but is he the man behind Sandra's murder? While en route to the police station, Kenda catches something on the police radio.
An ambulance has been dispatched to an address. And whose address is it going to? It's going to Bob Ambos's house.
The 911 call came in as a shooting. Could Bob Ambos be involved in a second homicide?
10-4, Kenda out.
We need to find out what the hell is happening with our man, Bob. At this point, I'm convinced that Sandra Johnson was murdered by her possessive ex-boyfriend, Robert Ambos.
Emergency dispatchers have reported a shooting at Robert Ambos' residence less than 24 hours after Sandra was killed.
Looks like we're heading to the hospital.
Kenda is convinced the two incidents are related.
Dr. Peter, how are you locating?
We're with the Colorado Springs Police Department. Did you have a shooting victim come in earlier?
Yes, we did.
Do they know who it is?
Just a second. Yes, Bob Ambos.
I don't think it's a coincidence that an ambulance has been sent to his home.
Kenda has a hunch who shot Bob Ambos and goes in to speak with the neurosurgeon.
Doctor.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
Is this your guy?
Afraid so. What can you tell me about his wounds?
I know this neurosurgeon rather well, and I said, what do you think about this?
Gunshot wound to the right frontal lobe. Entrance wound over here, ended up right here anterior.
There's a bullet lodged in the upper right frontal lobe of his brain.
How about the angle?
You know, the angle would suggest maybe even self-inflicted.
In my opinion, Bob has shot himself in the head. He has done so out of a sense of guilt over having killed Sandra.
Kenda needs to confirm that theory with Bob, but that could be hard with a bullet in his brain.
Yeah, we think he killed his ex earlier, and we're gonna need to talk to him. Any idea when he may come to?
Still awake.
He's still awake.
You can question him right now.
And the surgeon kind of smiled, and he said, if you're going to get shot in the head, this is not a bad place to do it. What do you mean? He said, frontal lobe wounds are very odd. Sometimes they don't do anything.
Sometimes a gunshot wound to the frontal lobe, they're a little unpredictable. Sometimes they can remain conscious and recover, and sometimes they can deteriorate rapidly.
Any prognosis on him?
We'll have to see over the next 24, 48 hours.
Now it's extremely important to speak with him. If they're not sure what's going to happen to him, I certainly am not sure. If we're going to get a statement from him, I want to get it right now. There may not be time to get one later.
Great, I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thanks.
By the way, he came in drunker than a skunk. His blood alcohol was 0.19.
All right, thanks for the tip.
Hey, Joe.
The blood alcohol content on Bob is 0.190. In Colorado, if you are driving a vehicle under 0.150, you're considered driving under excessive alcohol content. 0.190, you are blitzed. You would have trouble hitting the ground with your hat.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm good. How are you?
We're investigating the murder of Sandra Johnson, and that's brought us to you.
Okay.
He is amused that the police are here. That in itself is a statement.
Would you like to inform Bob of his rights, please?
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present during questioning. If you can't afford one will be appointed for you. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah, I understand.
And with these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to us about what happened?
Just want a public defender, okay?
With Bob requesting an attorney, Kenda knows he won't be getting a statement. But that's not the only way to get evidence out of Bob.
Do you know when they're gonna operate on him?
Probably tonight.
Perfect. Can you make sure you tell the surgeon to save the bullet fragments they take out of his brain?
Sure.
I'll swing by in a few hours with a warrant.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the following day, I get good news. We contact the hospital. We did operate on him. The bullet out of his head is a .22 caliber. This bullet is the same caliber as the bullets that were used to kill Sandra Johnson.
Not only is the bullet a crucial piece of evidence,
Great, thanks.
it also explains something that's been troubling Kenda since the investigation started.
At the beginning of this case, I was looking at that gun and finding 4 expended casings and wondering what happened to the 4th bullet. At that moment, I realized I had it in a biohazard bag. That 4th bullet was in his head. And I still have an ace in the hole, and that's 15-year-old Nikki Johnson, the girl who was too distressed to talk to.
Since the shooting, Nikki has been staying with her father, Dale Johnson. Kenda hopes that she's calmed down enough to talk.
Hello, can I help you?
Are you Dale?
Yes, sir.
I'm Detective Kenda. I'm sorry for your loss.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
How's Nikki doing?
Well, under the circumstances, she's doing pretty well.
Do you think it'd be possible if we spoke to her?
I think so. Sure. Come on in. Hey, Nikki, sweetie. Can you answer a few questions for these detectives?
Nikki, I'm Detective Kenda. I'm very sorry about your mom. I know this is difficult, but can you tell me what happened?
She says she is sitting in the living room reading something when there's a knock at the door.
Are you expecting anyone?
No. Are you?
No. What?
Sandra.
What are you doing here? You were drunk. You were
Damn
not
right I'm
supposed to
drunk.
come here when you're drunk. You need to leave.
No,
Out of my
I'm not
house.
leaving.
Yes.
You get drunk too if you gotta get dumped by some rich
Oh,
bitch.
my-
Like,
you
I'm
don't
not going
leave.
anywhere. I'm
calling
staying
the
right here.
police.
You call the police. Those prissy pants. I'm not leaving if you talk to me, Sandra.
Bob advances toward her, and she picks up the phone. He takes the phone out of her hand.
You're not calling the police. Let me phone you.
Go to the neighbors. Go to the neighbors.
The suspect grabbed her shirt and kept her from leaving the house, but she was able to break away
Anyway, you're not going anyway.
and ran across the street hysterical and contacted the police.
He has a scheme, and he has a gun. As soon as that daughter goes out the front door, he proceeds with his plan.
Kenda suspects that while Bob stood over Sandra's body, he turned the gun on himself.
You can speculate for all day and the rest of tomorrow as to what is going through this man's mind. I have no idea.
But Bob's suicide attempt is a failure.
You say to yourself, well, there's more bullets. True. But now he's in pain. The pain brought him back to reality from that gunshot wound. He leaves the gun on the floor. He goes out the back door. He gets in his truck. He drives 12 miles home with a bullet in his brain. It's hard to imagine, but I believe that's exactly what happened.
Did you ever see him after that? Again, I'm very sorry about all this. But because of you, we got this guy. Thank you. Thanks.
That is the final nail in Bob's coffin. We have the physical evidence, and now we have the statement of an eyewitness.
Bob Ambos recovers from his self-inflicted injury and pleads guilty to second-degree murder. He is sentenced to 40 years behind bars.
I just thought the whole thing was so easily avoidable because Sandra Johnson was a smart woman. She was not an idiot. She wasn't a dependent personality. She was a smart, bubbly, pretty woman who just happened to be kind of in the rebound of a marriage and fell prey to a guy that was awful. But it was one of those situations where you go, oh, I wish for some reason some friend had dragged you to a domestic violence fundraiser. And you would have learned, you know, the 3-4 little signs of a bad relationship. Because even something as small as that might have kept this from happening.
This case is different in terms of the victim and the background and the crime scene and the area in which it occurred. It's not something you routinely discover. It's not something you normally see. This is a very successful woman who's incredibly attractive, who lives in a wonderful part of town, who is financially set for the rest of her days, and she makes one mistake. She doesn't understand how people can be dangerous. Sandra Johnson died because she was unable to detect the personality disorders in Bob, either because she didn't believe those things existed in people or because she'd never seen those things before. But her lack of experience resulted in multiple gunshot wounds. She ultimately did determine what and who he was, but it was way too late.
Coming up, Kenda uncovers the grisly truth behind an apparent hit and run.
You see, the problem is there's blood all over your car. Maybe a fairy brought it in the night. There's a tooth fairy. Maybe there's a blood fairy.
For exclusive footage, go to investigationdiscovery.com. It's well before dawn on a cloudy Colorado morning, and Lieutenant Joe Kenda is wide awake, cleaning his service weapon and mulling over his current caseload.
One would expect me to be asleep, but I don't sleep well because of what I do for a living.
It's Kenda.
There was a voice of surprise on the end of the line. Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake. What do you need?
Well, we've got officers at the 1100 block of Caramillo, and they have a dead body in the street.
All right, I'll be right there.
When you sign up for this, you have to remember that you're joining a club that is unique. It operates 365 days a year, 24/7. It never stops. And violence never takes a holiday.
With little in the way of pre-dawn traffic, Kenda arrives at the scene within minutes.
So when I pulled up, there were a few policemen there, some crime scene tape, and that was it.
Gentlemen, so what do we got?
Well, I was driving down here on patrol, and I see this guy laying here. I get out with him. He's already dead.
The bloodied body lies in the middle of the street.
Any ID?
It looks like he's got a wallet in his pocket, but I didn't go digging around.
I will leave that for the coroner.
Yes, sir.
He's on his left side, and his right side is rolled toward the pavement, the odd skew of the legs and arms. I've seen that before. He has been dragged under a vehicle for about 30 to 35 feet.
But until the coroner arrives, a more thorough examination of the body will have to wait.
There's a great deal of blood on the body and a great deal of blood around the body. The circumstances would all indicate auto pedestrian, hit and run, drunk driver. Makes perfect sense. But I'm not ready to just make that judgment yet until we have an opportunity to examine the remains. So when the coroner gets there, I accompany him to the body.
Any ID?
We think there's a wallet in his pocket, but we haven't touched anything.
All right.
He then takes it out. We find a Colorado driver's license identifying this individual as Francis Kowaleski. He is 42 years of age. He's a retired member of the United States military, and he lives in the general neighborhood.
While the coroner continues inspecting the victim, Kenda instructs officers to canvass the neighborhood.
I want to go knock on some doors, see if anyone saw anything.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We start waking people up. At 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning in a residential neighborhood, very few people are going to be awake.
Morning, ma'am.
What's going on?
Sorry to wake you up. I'm with the police department.
We're investigating a hit and run that happened about a block away from here.
Because this incident occurred during the middle of the night, We were unable to locate anybody that could provide any type of clue or any type of information that would assist us in the investigation.
Hopeful that the coroner has uncovered something more useful, Kenda turns his attention back to the victim.
Have you discovered anything yet?
Blunt force trauma consistent with a hit and run.
But I found something else I think is going to intrigue you.
At least 2 serious stab wounds.
He's been stabbed. So now we have this interesting circumstance. Is it a stabbing followed by the perpetrator who commits the stabbing running over him? Or is it the other scenario where he is stabbed, he collapses in the street, and a drunk drives up and inadvertently runs over a man who is either dead or dying from stab wounds to the chest? It could be either one. Well, we've certainly answered one question. It is a homicide.
Could Francis Kowaleski have been mugged? Kenda doesn't think so.
Mr. Kowaleski still has his wallet, and it contains money. At this point in this investigation, very hard to say whether Mr. Kowaleski knew his killer or not, but the likelihood, I think, is pretty good that he did.
That comes back as his current address.
All right, thank you.
If I'm right that he dies at the hands of someone he knows, then the first step is to find out who he knows.
As the sun rises over Colorado Springs, Kenda makes his way to Francis Kowaleski's apartment complex.
Excuse me, sir. You know Francis Kowaleski?
You mean Frank? Yeah, he's on the second floor, number 15, live with Peterman.
15 right on the end there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So we went to Mr. Peterman's apartment. We knock, we get no response.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Mr. Peterman?
That's right.
Can we ask you a few questions about Francis Kowaleski?
Yeah, I'll be right up.
Mr. Peterman works nights, and he's coming home from work.
What's this about?
I'm sorry to say he was killed last night.
Oh, my God.
He knows Frank pretty well. He's distressed about the fact that he's now dead, but he doesn't really know what Frank does with his time.
He was a good guy. He was kind of down on his luck lately. He couldn't find work. That's why he was staying here with me.
Francis Kowaleski was someone who lived day to day. He picked up jobs where he could.
He spent time fishing at Prospect Lake in Colorado Springs, and he had a daughter back in New York.
Do you happen to know who he was with last night?
Not really. He's down from New York City. He doesn't know a whole lot of people around here. Here's one guy he hangs out with, Mike Murphy.
Mike was in his 20s. Frank was in his 40s. So there was quite an age difference. Mike had a car, Frank didn't. Mike didn't have any money, Frank had money. So you get this confluence of a situation. I'll drive you to the liquor store, you buy the liquor.
What's the destination tonight?
Drunk.
Cheers to that one.
You know where we can find this, Mike?
He lives over on Bonfoy Street.
All right, well, thank you for your help. Lieutenant Kenda to dispatch. I need to send a unit over to 21 North Bonfoy Street. We're looking for a Mike Murphy.
Moments later, Officer Phil Abbott turns his cruiser onto North Bonfoy Street.
This car is parked across the street from the address of 21 North Bonfoy Street. It is a white Plymouth four-door sedan, and it's a piece of junk.
The officer immediately notices something alarming.
170 to Kenda.
Officer Abbott jumps on the radio and says, hey, there's a car parked in the 0-100 block of this street.
We've got your car. There's blood all over the side of it.
Something I learned a long time ago as a policeman. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So at this point in this investigation, Francis Kowaleski, dead in the street. He's been stabbed, run over, and now we've found a car that has what looks like blood on
Having been dispatched to the home of 24-year-old Mike Murphy, Patrol Officer Phil Abbott cautiously approaches the vehicle in question.
As they pulled up behind the vehicle, they noticed that someone was in the car.
Morning, officer.
Hey, what's your name?
Mike Murphy.
Mike, is this your car?
Yeah, that's the best car I've ever owned.
Abbott looks at the blood, takes another look at him and says, "You're not going anywhere."
I need you to put your hands on the car.
Yeah, what's going on?
Spins him around, puts him on the hood of the car, cuffs him, and puts him in the cage in his cruiser. This car is covered in blood from about the midline of the door down to the base of the car, all the way along the right fender. You have to think to yourself, there is a God.
En route to police headquarters, Kenda radios Detective Skip Arms to take a search warrant over to the Murphy residence and interview the suspect's family. Once he's back at headquarters, Kenda questions Mike Murphy.
Do you know Frank Kovaleski?
Sure, he's my buddy. Why?
Because he turned up dead last night.
I don't know anything about that.
When was the last time you saw him?
I saw him on Sunday.
According to Mike, the last time he saw Frank was 2 days before he died.
He doesn't know anything about anybody getting stabbed, and he's not sure why we'd talk to him at all. Well, Mike, you see, the problem is there's blood all over your car.
Frank had ulcers, so...
So how'd the blood end up on your car?
When he got sick and, he threw up.
Damn, that's gonna make us acting up again. All right, damn ulcers.
So you think he threw up blood on your car?
Needless to say, Kenda is skeptical.
Maybe a fairy brought it in the night. Huh, Mike? There's a tooth fairy. Maybe there's a blood fairy. Looking at this individual, I'm speaking to someone who has the IQ of a turnip. I can feel it in my bones. This is the guy, and I'm convinced I can make him tell me.
Across town, Detective Skip Arms is busy interviewing Mike's wife, Sandra, and his mother, Joyce.
Do you know when the last time you saw Mike with Frank?
They were together last night.
The fact that Sandra places Frank in the car contradicts Michael's statement that he hadn't seen Frank for 2 days.
But it's Mike Murphy's mother, Joyce, who reveals the reality of the two men's strained relationship.
Mike was arrested for a DUI recently when they were out drinking. And he got really mad at Frank because he refused to post his $40 bond to get him out of jail.
This information really is the first motive we get out of this investigation.
Excuse me a minute.
Detective Arms relays this information to Kenda.
Hey, Skip, what'd you find out?
This is a huge fact to know. So now it's time to play You Bet Your Life with Mike.
Mike, I think you need to start over and tell me exactly what happened.
I said, Mike, I gotta tell you. You tell the worst story I've ever heard, and I have heard a lot of stories.
Okay, so maybe Frank was in my car. But he was fine when I let him out.
Do you think he walked out of your car and ran into a knife 6 times, Mike? Who the hell do you think you're talking to here? I said, let me tell you what happened.
All right, man, let's go get some beers.
All right.
I think that they went to one of their bars they normally go to. They get in some verbal altercation.
Dude, are you just gonna sit here and mope and be stupid all night? Look, dude, just drop it, okay?
Let's just get it over with, right now.
All right, fine. Wanna do that?
He gets out in the middle of the street, and they're gonna have a fight. Mike's flash temper kicks in. The fight begins. Mike isn't doing well in the fight. And then you're not satisfied. You're not happy because maybe he's not dead, huh, Mike? So you get back in your ride and you run over him. How am I doing, Mike? Pretty good. Tell me I'm wrong.
I thought he had a gun.
Did he pull a gun on you?
No.
Well, I drove around him, and then I thought, I'm gonna make sure. And I went back and hit him because I was pissed.
Stand up, put your hands behind your back.
Mike Murphy is charged with first-degree murder.
Nothing about his demeanor indicated remorse. He was annoyed that he had been caught.
The coroner's report confirms that prior to being run over, Francis Kowaleski was stabbed a total of 6 times.
One of those wounds severed the aorta of his heart. He was either dying or already dead when Murphy decided to perform a coup de grace with his car.
Mike Murphy is sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder of Francis Kowaleski.
Francis Kowaleski didn't expect anything bad to happen. He didn't feel like he had done anything wrong.
Frank Kowaleski died because he wasn't careful when he selected his friends. Did he know that Michael had a flash temper? I don't know the answer to that, but he certainly did have one. And Frank experienced it in the last moments of his time on Earth.